The alien hall was large, bright, and filled with cold metal sounds. Many alien diplomats stood in a circle, whispering among themselves. They laughed softly as they looked at the small human girl standing near the center. Her name was Mira Lane, only 11 years old, and she held her father's hand tightly. Her father tried to stay brave, but even he felt very nervous in this strange place. The aliens had invited them with smiles, but those smiles did not feel friendly. This planet followed an old ceremony. Whenever new visitors arrived, the aliens would offer one of them to the ancient dragon who lived below the hall. It was an old ritual, and they used it to show their power and superiority. Today, the aliens chose Mira. They selected her not because the ceremony required a child, but because they found it amusing. They believed humans were weak and harmless. They thought it was funny to put a small human girl in front of a giant dragon. To them, it was a joke, a way to mock humans. Mira did not understand everything, but she knew something felt wrong. Her father argued with the diplomats before the ceremony, but they ignored him. He now stood a few steps behind her, trying to stay calm. He wanted to run to her, hold her, and take her home, but the guards blocked him. Even then, Mira kept looking forward. She felt afraid, but she also felt a strange curiosity. She had heard legends about dragons, but she never imagined she would meet one. The floor beneath Mira began to glow softly. A wide, round opening slowly separated in the metal floor. Warm air rose from below. The aliens became silent. All of them leaned forward, expecting something amusing, expecting the dragon to laugh or roar or ignore the tiny human child. They wanted entertainment. They wanted a story to tell later about how weak humans were. Mira took a step back when she heard a deep, distant sound coming from under the hall. It sounded like a long breath, slow and heavy. Then she saw something large move in the darkness. A glow like a burning ember appeared first, then another. They looked like giant eyes waking from sleep. The dragon rose from the shadows. Its body was large, covered in shimmering scales that looked like both stone and light at the same time. The air shook lightly with each breath it took. The aliens stood taller, feeling proud of their ceremony. They expected the dragon to treat Mira as something small and unimportant. But something different happened. The dragon's glowing eyes moved across the hall, past the aliens, past the guards, until they rested on Mira. The giant creature stopped moving. It froze, almost like it was trying to understand what it was seeing. Mira felt its gaze like a warm wave passing through her. She wanted to hide, but she also felt something calm in her chest, something gentle. The aliens leaned in closer. This was not what they expected. The dragon slowly lowered its head. Its huge face came close to Mira, close enough that she could feel its warm breath. Her father shouted her name, but his voice did not reach her fully. Mira could only hear the slow, deep breath of the dragon. Then the dragon spoke. Its voice was soft but powerful, like wind inside a cave. "Child," it said, its words echoing through the hall. The aliens gasped. Dragons rarely spoke, and when they did, they never spoke to children. Mira blinked, confused. She did not know what to say. She only looked into the dragon's glowing eyes, waiting for something else. The dragon moved even closer and gently tilted its head. "I know your light," it said. "I have not seen it in many ages." The aliens began whispering nervously. This was not part of the ceremony. This was not what they expected. The ritual was supposed to make humans look weak. But instead, the dragon acted like Mira was special, important, even familiar. Mira stepped closer, almost without thinking. She did not feel afraid anymore. Something about the dragon felt safe. Do you know me?" she asked in a quiet voice. The dragon gave a slow nod. "Not you," it said, "but the light inside you. A light that once changed the fate of my people." The hall fell silent. Myra's father stared in shock. The aliens froze. Their jokes, their mocking smiles, all disappeared. No one understood what the dragon meant, but they all knew one thing. This was not a normal human child. The dragon lifted its head again, looking at the aliens. Its voice grew deeper. "This child is not an offering," it said. "She is a reminder." A cold ripple spread through the hall. None of the aliens dared to laugh now. They had tried to mock humans, but the ceremony was turning into something they could not control. Mira looked up at the dragon with wide, calm eyes. She did not understand everything, but she knew her life had just changed. The dragon had recognized something in her, something even she did not know she had. And for the first time in the ceremony's long history, the power did not belong to the aliens. It rested with a small human girl, who stood quietly with the dragon watching over her. The hall remained silent after the dragon spoke. None of the aliens moved. They did not laugh, did not whisper, did not breathe too loudly. They had expected a normal ceremony, a simple moment where the dragon ignored the little human girl. But the dragon was still staring at Mira with calm, glowing eyes, and the air felt heavy with something no one could explain. Mira stood very still. She did not shake now. She did not hide behind anyone. She simply looked up at the giant creature before her. She felt something warm inside her chest, something she never felt before. It was not fear. It was not confusion. It was something stronger. The dragon slowly lowered its head again, bringing its face closer to Mira. The hall lights reflected off its scales, making the air shimmer. "You carry the old light," it said again, but this time its voice was softer, almost protective. Mira blinked. She wanted to understand what the dragon meant. She wanted to ask questions, but her throat felt tight. Still, she tried. What light?" she whispered. The dragon studied her, its eyes glowing brighter. "A light humans once held long ago. A power that even my kind respected. A courage that shaped worlds." It paused. I did not expect to see it again. Behind her, Myra's father pressed against the guards. "Let her come back," he shouted, voice shaking. "She's just a child." The dragon turned its head slightly toward him. The guards quickly stepped back, afraid to be so close to its gaze. The dragon did not roar or threaten. Instead, it spoke calmly. "Her father fears for her safety. That is a good thing." Then it looked back at Mira. "But she is safe." The aliens shifted nervously. They were losing control of their own ceremony. Some of them exchanged worried looks, and others stepped back, unsure if they should continue the ritual or stop it. The chief diplomat, a tall alien with silver skin, finally stepped forward. "This is not part of the ceremony," the diplomat said. "The human child was meant to be presented as a simple offering, nothing more." Mira looked at the diplomat with confusion. She had never been offered anything before. She did not understand why these aliens would treat her like an object. The dragon turned its head toward the diplomat, and the hall grew colder. "You have used this ritual for your own pride," the dragon said, "to mock and belittle those you consider weak." Its voice shook the floor slightly. "This is not the way it was meant to be." The diplomat's eyes widened. "The ritual belongs to our people," he argued. "It has always been our tradition." The dragon's tail tapped the ground gently. "It was once a ritual of respect, not cruelty. My kind and your ancestors created it together. You have forgotten its meaning." Mira stepped closer to the dragon again. She felt safe near it, as if its warmth shielded her from everything strange around her. She touched her hand to her chest. "Why do you see this light in me?" she asked softly. The dragon bent its head just enough, so she could touch its scale if she wanted to. "Because your heart is brave," it answered. "You stood here without screaming. You looked at me with fear, but you did not run. And you listened. That is an old human strength." It paused, its eyes glowing even warmer. A strength many thought humans had lost. Mira did not feel brave. She felt small and confused, but she also felt something else. She felt seen. Her father finally pushed the guards, running forward. He grabbed Mira and pulled her close, trembling. "Are you hurt? Are you scared? Did they?" Mira shook her head. "Dad, it's okay. The dragon is not bad." Her father looked up at the dragon with fear and disbelief. He had expected a monster, but the creature watched them calmly, almost kindly. The aliens behind them grew restless. One diplomat whispered, "This ruins everything." Another said, "We cannot let humans gain favor with the dragon." The dragon heard them. It slowly raised its head and looked at all of them. You seek power by shaming others. You think strength comes from cruelty. Its voice deepened. But strength comes from the heart. The alien stepped back quickly. Mira looked up at the dragon again. Do you need my help? She asked. She did not know why she asked that. It simply felt right. The dragon's eyes softened. Yes, it said, because the old danger's returning, and only the light of a true human heart can face it. Mira held her father's hand tightly. She did not know what danger the dragon meant. She did not know what old light she carried. But she knew one thing. The dragon believed in her. And because of that, something inside her began to grow. Something brave. Something new. The aliens watched helplessly as the dragon bent its head in respect to an 11-year-old human girl. The ceremony was no longer theirs. The moment belonged to Mira. And the universe, without knowing it, had just shifted. When the hall finally emptied, the dragon gently invited Mira and her father to follow it through a wide side tunnel that curved down into the ancient mountain. The air inside was warm and quiet. The walls glowed with soft lines of light, as if memories were written inside the stone. Mira held her father's hand tightly. He still looked worried and confused, but he stayed close to her. The dragon walked slowly ahead of them, its claws clicking softly on the smooth floor. After a while, the tunnel opened into a large chamber. The ceiling was high, and bright crystals floated in the air like tiny stars. In the center of the room stood a round pool of glowing liquid. Its surface moved like water, but it shined like silver light. Mira stared at it with wide eyes. "What is this?" she asked. The dragon lowered its head toward the pool. "This is the luminous memory," it said. "It holds the history of my kind, and also the history of the humans we once knew." Myra's father frowned. "Humans were part of your history?" The dragon nodded. "Long ago, humans and dragons stood together. You were not weak. You were not mocked. Humans once carried great courage that shaped entire worlds." It paused. "This pool remembers everything." Mira stepped closer, feeling its soft glow warm her skin. The dragon extended a wing slightly, as if encouraging her. "Look into it," the dragon said gently. "It will show you why I recognize your light." Mira knelt beside the pool, her reflection shimmering. Slowly, she leaned forward. The liquid light began to glow brighter. The room fell silent. Then scenes appeared on the surface. She saw a group of ancient humans, strong, brave, standing tall beside dragons who looked even larger and more powerful than the one beside her now. These humans did not look afraid. They wore simple clothes, but held firm expressions. They walked with pride, not fear. Mira felt her heart beat faster. She saw battles against dark, shadow-like creatures with sharp wings and glowing eyes. The humans fought beside the dragons, not behind them. She saw one human girl who looked about her age leading others through danger, holding a torch of bright white flame. "What is that?" Mira whispered. "That flame is the heart light," the dragon said. "Once, every human carried it within them, a courage so pure that darkness could not touch it." Mira watched more scenes flash across the glowing surface. Humans helping dragons repair great towers, dragons teaching humans ancient songs, and children play with small dragonlings in fields of silver grass. It felt unreal. It felt impossible. But it also felt familiar, like a memory buried deep inside her. The images faded, and the pool became calm again. Mira slowly raised her head. Her father knelt beside her, stunned. He had never heard stories like this. Humans were always treated as the weaker species among alien races. Their world was not respected. Their people were not feared. But this pool showed something else, something forgotten. Mira looked at the dragon. Why did humans lose this light? The dragon lowered its head, its eyes dimming. "Because your world fell into fear," it said softly. "Fear of the unknown. Fear of danger. Fear of each other." It turned toward the pool. Fear can hide courage. And once enough time passed, the old stories were lost. The courage remained, but people forgot how to see it. Mira touched her chest. "But I still have it." "Yes," the dragon said. "You have it strongly. Most children do. Their hearts are open. Their courage is pure. Its eyes glowed warmly. "And that is why I knew you." Myra's father swallowed hard. "What danger did you mean? What is returning?" The dragon slowly walked around the pool. "The same darkness that once attacked our worlds long ago. It has been quiet for many ages, but the signs have returned. Stars disappearing, ships vanishing, shadows moving in the empty parts of space." Mira felt a chill run down her back. The shadows she saw in the memory pool looked terrifying. "But why do you need humans again?" she asked. "Because humans can face fear in a way no other species can," the dragon answered. "When others run, humans stand. When others break, humans rise. When others fall to despair, humans find hope." It looked directly at her. "You carry that gift." Mira looked back at the glowing pool. She did not feel powerful. She did not feel brave. But something inside her felt warm, like the flame she saw in the ancient girl's hands. "What do you want me to do?" she asked softly. The dragon lowered itself so its head was level with hers. "You do not need to fight," it said. "You only need to walk the path your courage chooses. The memory will guide you, and when the time comes, your light will awaken fully." Mira touched one of the floating crystals, and it glowed brighter for a moment, as if greeting her. Her father wrapped an arm around her shoulders, pulling her close. "You're not alone," he said gently. The dragon nodded. "She never will be," it said. "Humans and dragons once walked together, and now perhaps they will again." The chamber glowed around them, warm and bright, as Mira stared into the pool, into a past she never knew, and a future she could not yet imagine. But deep in her heart, something already felt awake. The moment Mira stepped out of the memory chamber, the air in the mountain changed. The soft lights in the hallways flickered. The ground shook gently, as if the whole place had taken a deep, uneasy breath. Mira held her father's hand while the dragon moved ahead, its wings half open and tense. Mira looked up at the dragon. "Is something wrong?" "Yes," the dragon answered. "The shadows have noticed the memory waking. They're moving faster now." Her father's voice shook. "Are they coming here?" "Not yet," the dragon said, "but they are searching. And the ones outside, those who mock your kind, will soon realize their mistake." As they reached the main hall, the mountain gates opened on their own. Outside, the alien elders who had brought Mira earlier were waiting. Their leader, a tall being with gray scales named Mythical, stepped forward, his face twisted with anger. "What have you done?" Mythical shouted at Myra's father. "The dragon should not have accepted a human. Humans are weak. They bring danger." Mira stepped behind the dragon's leg, but the dragon's voice stayed calm. "You are wrong, Mythical. The danger does not come from the child. It comes for all of us." Mythical hissed. "Lies! The dragon has been corrupted by old stories. Humans are nothing." The ground trembled again. Dust fell from the mountain walls. The sky darkened unnaturally, shadows curling to the clouds like black smoke. The dragon turned slowly toward Mythical and the others. "The darkness you fear is already above you." The shadows in the sky thickened until they formed a huge shape, a creature made from night itself. It did not roar. It simply hovered there, silent and cold, as if the world was nothing to it. The elders gasped. Mythical stumbled backward. Mira felt her heart freeze. Her father stepped in front of her, shaking but trying to protect her anyway. The dragon lifted its wings fully for the first time, spreading them wide enough to cover Mira and her father. Silver light glowed from its scales. Mythical screamed at the dragon. "Fight it! You are the guardian. Fight!" "I cannot," the dragon said softly. "Not alone." The sky darkened even more. The shadow creature lowered itself toward the mountain, stretching long arms made of pure darkness. Everyone stepped back. Everyone except Mira. Her small voice broke the silence. "It wants a memory, doesn't it?" The dragon looked down at her. "Yes. If it takes the memory, all hope will fade. No species will stand against it." Mythical shook with fear. Then destroy the human child. The memory awoke because of her. Her father's face turned pale with rage. "Say that again." The dragon placed a wing between them. "Enough. You all fail to understand. The memory did not awaken because she is dangerous. It looked directly at Vrikel. It awakened because she is strong. A gust of cold air swept across the mountain as the shadow creature lowered another long arm toward them. Mira felt the warm spark inside her chest, the same spark she saw in the memory pool. It glowed gently, like a hidden flame waking up. She stepped forward before anyone could stop her. "Mira!" her father shouted. But she kept walking until she stood next to the dragon's claw. The shadow creature reached closer, ready to engulf the entire mountain. The dragon looked down at her. "Are you afraid?" "Yes," Mira whispered. "Good," the dragon said softly. "Courage does not exist without fear." Vrikel trembled behind them. "You are going to let a child face this thing?" The dragon's deep voice echoed through the hall. "Humans once turned darkness away with nothing but their hearts. If she chooses to stand, I will stand with her." Mira lifted her small hands. She didn't know what she was doing. She didn't know how the flame worked. She only knew she couldn't run. The shadow creature loomed over them. Myra's breath shook. "I don't want people to be scared anymore," she whispered. The spark inside her chest flared. A soft light spread from her hands. The dragon gasped quietly. The heart light, the shadow creature froze. For the first time, it recoiled, its form shaking as if it felt pain. The elder stared at Mira in shock. Vrikel fell to his knees. The dragon bowed its head. "You have awakened it." Mira trembled, but she kept her hands raised. The light grew stronger, shining silver and white, pushing against the darkness. The shadow creature let out a low, broken sound, a sound like anger mixed with fear. Her father watched with wide eyes, unable to speak. The shadow creature pulled back, shaking violently as the light spread across the sky. Myra's knees weakened, but the dragon placed a wing around her, sharing its strength. The silver glow from its scales wrapped around her light, making it brighter, steadier. The shadow creature shrank back in the clouds, fading until only a thin wisp remained, then nothing at all. The sky cleared. The mountain stopped shaking. Mira lowered her hands, breathing hard. The dragon looked at her with deep respect, not pity, not sadness, but respect. "The power has returned," it said, "and this time it belongs to humanity again." The elders bowed their heads, even Vrikel. Mira leaned against the dragon's warm leg. She had never felt so tired. She had never felt so strong. And for the first time, humans were no longer the weakest species in the galaxy. They were the light that made the darkness retreat. The mountain was quiet after the shadow creature disappeared. The sky was clear again, and the halls inside the great dragon temple no longer shook. Mira stood beside the dragon, still tired from the light she had released. Her father held her shoulders gently, afraid she might fall. The elders slowly came closer. Their faces showed fear, confusion, and something new, respect. Vrikel, the leader who once mocked humans, stepped forward with shaky legs. He looked at Mira as if she was someone he could not understand. Mira lowered her eyes. She did not want anyone to stare at her like she was different. She only wanted everyone to be safe. The dragon spoke first. "The heart light has returned through the child. Humanity has proven its strength not through power, but through courage and kindness." Vrikel swallowed hard. We were wrong." Mira blinked. She never expected to hear those words from him. Vrikel's voice trembled. "We believed humans were weak. We laughed at them. We used cruel traditions to embarrass them. But this child," he paused, taking a slow breath, "this child saved us all." Myra's father looked at his daughter with pride and relief. "She's always been brave," he said softly. The dragon lowered its massive head. "Mira has shown what humanity can be. She faced darkness without weapons, without training, and without hate. That is the power your kind carries." Mira looked uncertain. "But I didn't know what I was doing. I was just scared." "That is why it mattered," the dragon replied. "Real courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to stand even when fear is heavy." The elders exchanged quiet whispers. Their old beliefs had been broken in a single day. One of the smaller aliens, a young attendant named Kelry, stepped forward. "What happens now?" she asked. The dragon lifted its wings slightly, letting the silver glow fade from its scales. The mountain lights brightened as if waking up from a long sleep. "Now," the dragon said, "we must decide how to move forward. We cannot return to old ways." Vrakel looked ashamed. "Our traditions were built to show power. We wanted all species to fear us, so they would respect us. But today we saw that fear is weak. And kindness," he looked at Mira again, "is stronger." Mira felt her face warm. She didn't feel like a hero. She felt like a girl who happened to be in the wrong place at the right time. The dragon turned toward the elders. "A new alliance must be formed, one that honors every species, one that remembers today." Her father nodded slowly. "Mira can't carry this alone. She's just a child." "She will not be alone," the dragon said, "but she will guide us. She is the first luminous heir in thousands of years. She carries a line that once united worlds." Mira looked up. "What does that mean?" "It means," the dragon said gently, "you have a voice here, and when you speak, we will listen." The elders bowed their heads. Even Vrakel did. Her father knelt beside her. "You don't have to choose anything you don't want," he whispered. "You can say no." Mira thought for a moment. She remembered the fear in the elders' eyes, the darkness in the sky, and the way the dragon stood beside her. She remembered how her hands shook, but the light still formed. She remembered how she didn't want anyone to be scared or hurt. Slowly, Mira shook her head. "I don't want to be someone important. I just want everyone to be safe." The dragon smiled softly, a rare expression for a creature so ancient. "Then you are already the leader we need." The elders agreed. Kelry stepped closer to Mira and offered her a small silver crest, a symbol of peace used by many alien groups. Mira hesitated, then took it carefully. It felt warm in her hands, as if it accepted her too. Outside, news spread quickly across the mountain. Soldiers, workers, and travelers gathered near the gates to see the child who had saved them. Some of them bowed. Some simply smiled. Others placed their hands over their hearts in a quiet sign of respect. Mira moved closer to her father, overwhelmed but not afraid. As the sun began to set, the dragon led Mira and her father to the highest balcony of the mountain. The view stretched across valleys and floating cities. Lights flickered like tiny stars. "This world once feared humans," the dragon said. "But now, because of you, they will see the truth." Mira leaned on the railing. "What truth?" "That humans," the dragon answered, "are not small. They are not weak. They are not to be mocked. They are a species with hearts that shine in the darkest places." Her father wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "You changed everything today." Mira looked at the sky where the shadow creature had vanished. She didn't feel like a warrior or a chosen one. She felt like a girl who made a choice. A human choice. A brave choice. And that was enough. The dragon's deep voice broke the silence. "This will be remembered for generations. And from today forward, no species will doubt humanity again." Mira smiled softly. The galaxy had always been big. But today, humanity had grown just a little bigger inside it.